Hello everybody, how you guys doing? This is Zhong Kui Dittos, round 1. This tournament is S tier and below, 1 defense item each, and somehow both of these guys pick Zhong Kui. I feel like that's incredibly rare because not that many people pick Zhong Kui in general in ranked, not that many people really favor Zhong Kui, and it's Hatmaster, so you would never expect, you know, Hatmaster Zhong Kui. At least I wouldn't from what I've seen so far in the tournament. I've seen some ADCs from him when he doesn't get his Ymir, but kind of, it always sucks to see somebody ban out Hatmaster's Ymir. I mean, it's the thing to do, you know, it's the appropriate strat. These Zhong Kuis are going at it right now. I don't think either of them are in jeopardy of losing their lives, but some poke is being thrown. And ultimately, Hatmaster getting a lot more of that wave down. You can see Hatmaster actually went with the Sands of Time, the general start, whereas Commander Clyde went with the Soulstone. Soulstone is thought to be a very strong item on Zhong Kui because it gives him a lot of damage. He doesn't have any mana though, because it gives him stacks on his on 2 of his autos at a time, as long as he has his passive up from his 3. This is gonna be close. Commander Clyde might be able to do something here. No, he misses those autos, and the stun does hardly any damage at that rank. But yeah, it's really unfortunate when you see you know, his Ymir banned out, but it's the appropriate thing to do, like I said, to throw him, you know, to throw him off, make him have to play something that he's not as comfortable with. It is a tournament, you know, people obviously playing to win here. Big gems on the line. If you guys aren't familiar with the you know, the rules that I usually, or rather like the prizing scheme, first place gets 1,200 gems, second place gets 800, third 400, and fourth 200. And that's all provided to us by Hi-Rez, which is really awesome of them. Hi-Rez Studios, great games. I'm not required at all to cross-promote them because I mean it's their game, so there's probably not that much. Well, I mean, just by streaming it, let's talk about how just by streaming it, streamers are doing a great service for the game, right? Even if we are, like, you know, mid-tier streamers. Commander Clyde throwing that one through the wall. Hatmaster just cheeky, standing right here. Look at him, like a serial killer in the night. My God. Creeps out there, back to the bushes. A lot of silence right now. It's an eerie little display of Zhong Kui. Now, if you look at the skins, Hatmaster's got the Ghostbusters one on, and it's almost Halloween. It might even be Halloween by the time you're watching this video. It probably won't be. It probably was the day before. Oh my God, it's 2 days until Halloween. Happy Halloween, everybody. So yeah, there's that. I mean, you can't dismiss the fact that he's got the skin going for him. Commander Clyde just going with the standard skin? The thing is, Zhong Kui doesn't have many good skins. It's really pretty much the Ghostbuster one or bust, for me at least. So a lot of people like the Commando one. I don't like the Commando one. Not a fan. How do you know ya? There's 2 other things on the docket today. Mario Odyssey, Stranger Things 2. Mario Odyssey is one of the greatest games I have ever seen in my life. It is fantastic, and you should definitely play it. If you're thinking about getting a Switch, get a Switch.
Just
Yo,
wanna share
Chi-Chi!
some love real quick, less than 3. I hope everyone has a beautiful day.
Beautiful person. Thank you so much, Chi-Chi. I really appreciate it. 6 months, half a year. You're the best. So yeah, definitely if you're teetering, like, whether to get a Switch or not, and you actually have the money for it, then definitely get it. If you don't have the money for it and you can't get a Switch, I'm really sorry for bragging about Super Mario, you know, for talking up a game that you can't get, because I know that feel. That's the worst. But sell everything you have and get it. It is very good. And then Stranger Things Season 2. Mad good. Mad good. Like, really, really good. Started off a little rocky for me. I wasn't sure if it was going to be good. Turns out to be very, very solid season. Very happy with it overall. I would definitely rewatch too, which is always a good one. So, reason, of course, that, you know, I take the floor here a little bit is because these 2 guys certainly aren't going to be. This is Zhong Kui Dittos. It's going to be an endless poke war. And really, no one will win. None of us. Not the viewers, Not the Zhong Kui, who, like, was the last one to, you know, stick it out and... Well, no, who was the one that stuck it out the longest, rather. Oh, okay, but let's see. Will something result from this war? Yes, there's a lot of damage going on to Commander Clyde. I think he might go down here with appropriate follow-up from Hatmaster. Yes, it's gonna be Commander Clyde, first blooded by Hatmaster. Wow. That was all of a sudden, you know, it just broke wide open. And that's great, because that's, you know, obviously the kind of thing you like to see. This very well could have taken, you know, a different approach, but both of these guys really wanted that red buff, really wanted to make something happen in that, you know, in that circle over there. And Hatmaster had it laid out a little bit better. Both of them used their Aegises at the exact same time. Look at that. That's crazy. All right, maybe a second difference, 0.5 second difference, I say. Yeah, Hatmaster looking good here, and you know, he wants to get these wins, man. When people ban out his Ymir, he gets mad. He asked me if we can have a rule that we don't, you know, that people can't ban his Ymir. Like, I can't possibly, he was, you know, obviously joking, because there's no way I can do that. I would love to have a way that could be possible, but, like, maybe you can't ban under a certain tier, but it's too biased. It doesn't make sense at the end of the day. And, you know, in a tournament environment, unfortunately, you should be able to play more than one god. That's part of it. In you know, it's a MOBA. It's not like it's Smash or something. So, you know, you do have to have mastery of other gods. And Hatmaster's showing that he does, you know. He just wants his Ymir. He says, it's not because I suck with other gods. I just want to play my Ymir. He will take down anything standing in his way. And right now, that's Commander Clyde. But Commander Clyde turning this on him. If he hits him with the 1, it's going to be very strong because of the slow, allowing more ghosts to pour in. Hatmaster going down here. Wow. 1-to-1. Real quick there. The aggression from Hatmaster, I guess he really, he went all in when he didn't have the opportunity, while Commander Clyde was already on the back foot. That's why you got to be really careful with Zhong, with his ult, because, you know, it is such an all-in ability. It's so obvious that it's coming. You have to just dip from it. It doesn't have the slow on it yet, because you don't have Gem of ISO, which is pretty core on the god. So, you know, you don't have that much lockdown if you don't already have them CC'd with either the stun or, you know, your 1. So Hatmaster really laying chase with that ability, wasted a lot. And Commander Clyde just turned it around on him. He had already fully committed, so Hatmaster had no way of just, you know, backpedaling out of that safely enough. Took too much damage on the escape, and boom. All of a sudden, the game is about even. A incredibly small lead for Hatmaster. Really big differences in the builds here. See, Hatmaster going with the very aggressive Bancroft's Rush, which is generally key, or not key, but core on Zhong Kui. Usually you rush it, and I just said he was rushing it, I realized it. Usually you rush it before boots, and without even a starter item, but Hatmaster didn't do that in this case. Yeah, just going straight after the boots and then going into his defense item. Commander Clyde, on the other hand, going into very potent item, Voidstone. It is so good. He always recommends it to me too. When, you know, when everybody's backseat gaming in the chat, everybody's like, "Yeah, Shadow, go this." He's always the one saying like, "Go Voidstone." So I think he's a very big fan of this item, and rightfully so, because it's, you know, it's very strong in these mage mirrors. When it gives you effective pen. Oh, Commander Clyde this time, the one to prematurely pop his ultimate, getting nothing off of it. Hatmaster wants blood. He's going back in on this, and Commander Clyde's Aegis might not be enough to keep him alive through this. A little bit of heal, though, is going to come out for him. Wow, that was really weird. Hatmaster used his... Oh, no, you know what? It might work out for him. So say he used his 2 before his 1 there. You think he kind of wants that healing, but he's got it. Either way, it's gonna go down, I think. Yeah. Finally. Wow. These are tense Zhong Ditto wars, dude. Even with that defense that Commander Clyde had online, it was all just about the timing of the ultimate. Like I said, it is so sensitive. You have to be absolutely sure that, you know, now is your time to ult, because if you fuck up and then, you know, you're left with, you know, with their ult in any, like in any mirror, it really comes down to the battle of these ults, the all-important team fight presence. So now with that, Hatmaster definitely going to go into that Pestilence, which is a good pickup here, given the anti-heal against Commander Clyde's heal. It's not as effective because Commander Clyde doesn't have Bancrofts. So, that's generally the big shutdown. We go Pestilence into a god that heals a little bit, and he's got Bancrofts. But in this case, I don't know. We'll have to see. I feel like in the early game, it's definitely more beneficial because it's more about the laning presence, and Zhong really needs that heal during that time. But that Pestilence will fall off later. So I'd like to see Hatmaster go somewhere else with it as the game goes on. He did steal away that buff. That's really good for him. He's really just trying to hold on to that lead this time, not throw it away. Oh yeah, you guys can start, Street. Thanks for that. Now it's back to the land wars here. I mean, one guy here is repping the NShadow clan tag, and one's not, so you gotta believe, and you can't count out the Commander Clyde. Now, the thing about this tournament that I really should have highlighted as soon as we got into this, right, is that not only is it S tier and below, but it is one defense item apiece, which means that Commander Clyde will only be able to go this Voidstone and Hatmaster only this Pestilence, unless they sell them and go something else. And that might be the case for both of them, because for Commander Clyde, Voidstone generally ends up being more of an early game item, like a bridge item, than a... Oh, he actually missed his card there. Hard ability to miss, so you really got to psych yourself out when you miss your card. Just so you know, Commander Clyde's really feeling the pressure. Did he miss that one too? Oh no. Oh yeah, the pressure is being felt. I mean, he's trying to protect this tower in this scenario, and he's low here, so he's not going to be able to go in on this. I'm not sure why he's trying to go back. He figures he has a Shield of Thorns over him, but it's still not enough. With the raw damage that Hatmaster is dishing out here, Commander Clyde just doesn't have enough on his side. Only the Gem of ISO and the Voidstone not being enough damage up against that really beefy Bancroft. Not beefy, but what's the word? Really heavy damaging. really dangerous Bancroft. And with that solid Pestilence built, not easy for him to do a lot of damage into him. He doesn't have that much penetration with the Voidstone, but Pen on both sides, coming from the Pen boots. Interesting that they decided to go into that instead of cooldown boots. Most times, especially mirrors, people will decide to go for the cooldown boots because you want to have your ult up as much as your opponent. But both of these guys really, I guess, figured that they weren't going to have the damage that they wanted in the early game, so they just opted into the Pen boots. But that's especially, questionable from Hatmaster, given that he was already going into Bancroft. So, he knew he was going to have a big power spike right there. Red buff belongs to Hatmaster right now. So Commander Clyde going to keep a safe distance. Yeah, by defense, I mean anything that has solid, actual protections active in it. If it has it in its passive, it's okay, like Stonecutter. And like I said, you can always sell your defense item, then pick up another one. There's going to be some really funny moments in the tournament, I swear. Oh, he does pick that up, but he used his 3 for it. Hatmaster not wanting to ult in here. He actually figured he can just poke him out hard enough that he forced out Commander Clyde's ult, which is a huge win. Yeah, Commander Clyde's really having a rough time of it right now. He's got his back pressed to the wall, and he's been, kind of haphazardly using his stuff here. I don't think he needed to ult there to get out until Hatmaster did. If Hatmaster ulted, then he definitely should have responded with his own ultimate. But there he just kind of, he got spooked. The Ghostbuster spooked him. Hatmaster showing off with these emotes. He knows we're spectating him. No, you can't have... What the... Tell me how Sloth listens to that whole thing and says, so can I have Vamp Shroud and Breastplate? I thought it was quite clear. Wow, look at this. The healing, bring Commander Clyde back up. Ooh, and the card missed this time by Hatmaster, but Hatmaster keeps going in even though he missed his. He's got to give respect to the fact that Commander Clyde's in a decent position now. His ult's almost up too. If he can get in there, he has a... Oh no, he doesn't have sprint. That's Hatmaster. No relics up for Commander Clyde. That's, you know, that's one thing that'll make this very, very scary for Clyde. He's going in anyway though. There's no like indicator on his ult. He really shows it as weird. Oh, because I'm zoomed in on Hatmaster. Oh, wow. Okay, so an ult expended, that's not good. Ult expended by Clyde, and he didn't get anything off of it. He's also just kind of... Oh. He's kind of just delaying the inevitable here, I feel like. Ooh, will he make... No, there's one. Wait, I don't think it's going to kill him. Maybe... Yeah, it will. That card, man, I never expect to kill for some reason. It does so much damage. Because it doesn't look like it's going to do that much damage. And then it just tears... It eats away at your soul. And eventually overcomes him. Hatmaster looking solid right now. He's been making all the right decisions. This is such a wacky matchup that, you know, you gotta think that neither of these players probably have much experience in this exact matchup. But Hatmaster, you know, really adapting better than Commander Clyde at this point. He went into a Warlock Sash here too, which makes him so tanky and so strong for the late game. Warlock Sash is something that we've seen every time that I've limited defense or made it even no defense. People have most often opted for Warlock Sash. There's one thing about it though, I mean, it could have given Commander Clyde an opportunity to come back into the game because it's, you know, you're building a third item there. And it's a stacking item, you know, very large, or very late game stacking item, coming in at 100 stacks. It's expensive and, well, actually, I don't know if it's that expensive, but it's, anyway, it's the commitment of the stacks mostly, because you don't get much out of it until it is fully stacked. When it's fully stacked, you actually get a lot of power, but before that, you're kind of limiting yourself. But Hatmaster was at a comfortable enough lead that he felt, you know what, this is pretty free, I got this. As long as I stick this out, and if I build tanky enough, there's no way that he can really surprise me with anything. And that's kind of how it, you know, how it unfurls in this scenario. Commander Clyde, of course, not being able to go Warlocks himself, given the position he's in. You know, he's so behind. It would just kind of be a death wish to go in on his own. Obsidian Shard picked up here for Hatmaster is interesting, given that Spear is so important. On Zhong is such a strong item for him, and there's only one defense item allowed, so I don't know why he would pick up the Obsidian in this case. I guess you could say it's entirely for the tower push potential in this case. Because otherwise, it doesn't just... I don't... Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Generally, Obsidian, you know, is known for having better defense or better defensive shred. This is close for both players, but Commander Clyde's really good getting low here. Hatmaster finds it with a very well popped sprint. Great timing on that. Realized exactly when the Aegis ended that he still had the ability to go back in there, even with the Titan on his heels. Really strong performance.